What's up, everyone? We are back on another episode of Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
Henry had to flex a little extra today because, you know, it's a lot of welterweights out here getting busy coming up this weekend. So, gosh, you know, I've been doing my thing a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Henry?
A Shadowline production.
I got you, cuz.
First of all,
you were born with the damn six pack, weren't you? Damn.
Relax.
Kamaru.
Relax. Nah, I had to work for this. But my man, before we even get into the talk, man, we can't neglect the fact that my dog, hey, you in camp. You know, you in camp, and I know how difficult, how grueling camp can be for myself as well, because I had just had to go through it a few months back. And so give us a little update, Henry. How you feeling? How's the body? And how is the anticipation building up for that next fight?
No. Honestly, Kamaru, it's been fun, dude. It's been fun having this camp. Like today, I kind of got beat up a little bit because this is what we can't do. This is what I've learned. You cannot have 2 hard days in a row. And I made that mistake yesterday. I sparred today, and you know I got beat up a little bit, which is humbling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta really tone it down the day prior. I just kind of overdid it. And typically I could tend to do that. But that's one thing that I will say, careful going 2 straight hard days in a row. Like, you can't have a hard day and then spar the next day. And that was kind of my bad. I trained with a bunch of I had sweaters and sweats because, I went to a wedding. So I had a little bit more than what I should have. And then it came back and it bit me in the ass. And it was, my conscience was like already there. Like, you know what? I gotta lose more weight today because today, dude, I gotta make up for what I did on Saturday. And it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to freaking kind of do my thing for, and I didn't do any drinking, by the way.
Right.
So you're proud of me, you know what I'm saying?
I am proud of you for that. Why is it hand, though? Why is it hand when you're talking to me? Why is it hand? Huh? So all black people drink Hennessy? Is that what you're saying?
No, but other than that, Kush, everything's been good, bro. Everything's been good. Thank God, dude.
But real quick, I wanted to get it a little bit into what you were just saying. So was it hard because you were wearing sweats and you obviously, when you have all that heat on you, you kind of drain you drain that battery life a lot faster and you get exhausted a lot faster. Is that why it was hard? Or was it just because you wrestled and you sparred back-to-back days?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. A little bit of everything that you just kind of talked about. It's exactly what kind of tends to happen. So we got to be careful in that sense. To where I've been sparring Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now I'm probably going to have to go Wednesdays and Saturdays. Because it's a 3-rounder for me. You know what I'm saying, Kamaru? So I didn't necessarily want to overstretch the week for a 3-round fight where it's always in the fucking gym. Like, I don't think that's always good all the time.
Right.
I've been doing like Bikram yoga, getting the weight down, stabilizing all these muscles, feeling fatigue and things like that. But
right, I agree with you.
And I think it's fun because we'll get a chance to kind of teach that to that next generation. Be like, hey, dude, chill, man.
I agree with you. I think as you get later on in your career, you've understood those mechanics of, I don't need to spend so much time hitting pads or doing wrestling and doing these certain things because I've kind of already established that. I've built that over time. Now I could spend some time just really working on flexibility, getting in shape, getting that weight down, and making sure that I'm healthy enough to get in there and let all that knowledge and everything I've acquired over the years, let that take over. So I do understand that, and I can resonate with that. But Henry, also, it's a special weekend. It's UFC 322, right?
Yeah. Not bad, Kush. Not bad.
Yeah, see, you didn't want to give my props with my Spanish just there.
You can't say UFC, you got to say UFC 322.
3:22. Yes. Yeah, I feel you. See, you tried to hate a little bit on my Spanish there. You took it a little bit for you to give me my props. You took a millisecond. I ain't like that. You got to give me my props right away, Henry. But UFC 322 is happening this weekend. Hey, this is one of the marquee events of the year. Obviously, we know if you had to rank them, we would go number one would be International Fight Week. And then number two, Henry, I think this is number two. MSG, UFC at MSG. I think it's the second biggest event of the year, if not the biggest, depending on who is competing there. So,
you know what's funny, Kamaru? I feel like every MSG card is special, bro.
Of course,
something about MSG that is just different, bro. So I would even put it ahead of International Fight Week, to be quite frank. There's always a marquee fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been a lot of people who have headlined International Fight Week. You're just like, oh, that's the main event. But when it comes to MSG, we've had Kamaru Usman versus Covington. We had John Jones. You know what I'm saying? We have Alex Petty, some of the biggest names in combat sports. Going back all the way to the Muhammad Ali days, bro. It's special to fight there, especially to main event a show there.
I agree, Henry. I agree. Getting that pleasure to be able to marquee and be that top name on that bill. It was special coming out and seeing it. It's stars. I mean, stars come to all the different fights, but man, when you got to MSG, it was stars. And I was like, oh, okay. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. So grateful. But Henry, this weekend, it's another great one. And there's welterweights at the top of the bill. Islam Makhachev taking on Della, Maddalena. See, I can get that name, JDM. And this is a fight that we've been waiting on. Islam Makhachev vacated the lightweight title to come up and challenge for the welterweight champion against newly crowned JDM, Della, Maddalena. Henry, I'm going to let you go first. You go ahead and break this down and you let me know where you're leaning towards right now.
You know what's crazy, Kamaru? I didn't think JDM had a chance in the beginning.
Really? I've been telling you.
Dude, yeah. And you have, and I will give you that, Kamaru. You got to respect the game and the tenacity of a guy like, Della Maddalena. Because, bro, Bilal Muhammad, what JDM did to him in that fight. What JDM did to him in that fight. I only had Bilal Muhammad maybe winning round one. I mean, winning just one round out of the whole 5 rounds, and it was all JDM, dude. He's got a heart, bro, a reach. He attacks the body. Man, I was going Islam Makhachev because he's my brother. But man, I don't think it's as simple as I thought it was, and I will definitely backtrack on that. And there's something that does scare me about this fight, Kamaru. There's something that Islam Makhachev said that made me think. If wrestling doesn't work, this is what he said. This is not a good thing. If wrestling doesn't work, we're going to strike. Do you really want to strike with a guy that goes to the body, that kicks, throws knees up the middle, how he caught Gilbert Burns? But that being said, I don't know, Kamaru Dean. I want to go Islam Makhachev because of the wrestling, but there's a little bit of doubt of what I said a little bit before. Islam, again, I'm going to quote Islam. If wrestling doesn't work, then we're going to strike. The only way of in my opinion, of Islam Makhachev winning this fight is going to have to be through the grappling, particularly the wrestling.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah,
I would not expect that from you. I can't believe the blasphemous statement that you just made. Henry, I can't believe what you just said. Are you serious right now? Huh? The only way that he could win is he has to get to the grappling? Are you really? Did you not see the setup? Inside, body, send it to the head, put Volkanovski away. Or, we exchange.
Keep this in mind.
We exchange. Boom. Shot. Put Charles Oliveira down before I jumped into that arm triangle and put him away. Hey, don't sleep on Islam striking now. Islam can strike. That's the difference between, obviously, Khabib was grappler. Khabib is coming at you. He's going to change levels. He's going to put you down. He's going to beat your face in. Islam is an elevated version of that. He could get you down. He could beat your face in. He could submit you down there, or he could stand and strike with you, hurt you, then finish you. So that was a blasphemous statement, as if that's the only way that he can win. No, Islam can win multiple ways.
No,
Henry.
well, his probability of winning goes up. But that being said, remember though, Kamaru, he's a 55-pounder going up 15 pounds.
Always very big for the division. At one point was even being called a weight bully.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I get.
What I'm saying is we gotta give respect to JDM, bro. That's all I'm saying, dude. You cannot just
speak a lot of French today. We. I always give respect to JDM. I've always said that this guy is being slept on.
Dude.
this guy, but I understand exactly what you're saying, Henry, and that's what I've said. I've always
thought Kamaru. A lot better than what I thought.
When I watch these guys compete, it's bigger for me because I put myself in there with these guys, and I see it's bigger than just the skill, that what they're dominant at, the skill for skill. It's bigger than that for me. I also look at their spirit. I look at how they're fighting. I look at the will, and with JDM, he's been carrying something for a long, long time. Even the fights where he wasn't doing so well in, and he still came back and was able to pull it off. And so, like I've said, this is a closer fight than most people think. But if you had to say, looking at the fights where one guy has a bigger advantage, it would be Islam in the grappling aspect. If Islam is capable of, if Islam is able to get this fight down to the canvas, I think that's where he shines, because we know if Islam jumps on the front headlock, it's a long day for a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. But it's I still want to favor Islam because of the grappling side. It just scares me a little bit of what you hear. That's all. But you're right. His front headlocks too, how he caught Moicano, how he caught, even the Kimura
Dustin Poirier
with Dustin Poirier. This is why what makes Islam Makhachev special is the fact that he can mix it all. But if he's sane, there's something that if the wrestling don't work, I'm like, all right, man, then he must really believe in his striking against a really good striker in JDM.
Right. Okay, but so I would ask you this. Who do you think has more to gain here with the victory on Saturday?
I would probably say JDM. The reason why is because everybody's favoring Islam Makhachev to beat him. Everybody's already thinking Islam Makhachev is going to be a 2-division champ, as he has proclaimed that, it's the only thing that's missing in his legacy. It is JDM, because JDM will spoil the party, Kamaru. He will spoil the party, and he'd probably spoil it for you too.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to watch your mouth right now. I need you to watch your mouth. Listen to me.
But can I tell you why?
And for a second,
tell you why?
Go ahead. Tell me why.
Because I don't think JDM would want to fight you, bro. And then Islam Makhachev did say, if or when I win this fight, the only guy that's worthy for me to fight is the one and only Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. After Jack, I think Kamaru Usman, he is now in a good position. In other words, he's saying, I win. I want the smoke from the greatest welterweight of all time in Kamaru Usman.
No, I think, listen, let me answer the question. And my answer to that question is I disagree with you. I think Islam has more to gain here than JDM does. It's a close one, but I say that because Islam wins. Islam now is a 2-division champion. Islam now says, you know what? I could have been a welterweight champion before, but I just chose not to go up to challenge. Islam win. Islam now ties the longest win streak in UFC history. Islam has more to gain here because he wins. He just bested the weight class above him. JDM wins, of course, you have those casual fans out there that are going to go, oh, he's bigger anyways. Oh, he should have won. He should have done this. He should have done that. He fought a smaller guy. The same way people kind of ridiculed Islam for beating Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah.
So now he wins. People might feel that. But
it's different, Kamaru. Can I tell you why it's different? Can I tell you why I disagree with you?
What?
Is because of the lineage of Khabib Nurmagomedov and and his father.
Why are we bringing in Khabib Nurmagomedov? This is not Khabib fighting. This is Islam Makhachev. We got to talk about Islam and not Khabib. This has nothing to do with Khabib. This has everything to do with Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev has written his own history. Islam Makhachev, from the young man that was finished by the young man that took the loss to, I believe his name is Martins, the Brazilian, to the point where Islam is now. Let me
ask you a question. Has JDM faced a wrestler like Islam? And has Islam faced a striker like JDM? Because I will say this. JDM did face Bilal Muhammad in his last fight. A guy that, and I've said it before, and Cormier has agreed with me, a lot of people have, that has a Khabib style of fighting.
It's different. That's not true. It's different.
Has Islam faced a striker like JDM?
Well, you're talking about you're talking with takedown defense. Listen, I've seen JDM taken down multiple times in the fight, multiple times. So and also, I don't think Islam will keep categorizing him as a wrestler. Islam's not a wrestler. Islam's as a judo sambo guy. Islam will catch you and trip you and put you down. Islam's not I'm going to shoot a double leg like I shot a double leg on Joaquin Buckley, took him down. Islam's not that type of guy. Islam is finesse. When you lock up, he gets you up against the cage. You don't even think so. Boom. You see the inside trip or you see the outside trip. You saw what he did to DC at practice one back in the day. That's Islam. But when he gets you down, his top pressure and his ground and pound and his ability to move to get you in a position to catch a submission is advanced. And so I wouldn't say that. And the same way, I won't think the other guy you mentioned is a top-notch wrestler. It's not. It's just the style of fighting that overwhelms guys. But listen, JDM, as great as he is too, there is holes there. JDM is primarily a boxer. But what impressed me in his last fight, in his last win, was the fact that not only was he a southpaw boxer, JDM switched stance effortlessly into orthodox boxing, sticking and moving his head and slipping and making him miss and then making him pay at the same time. It looked impressive. I think this fight is a lot closer than most people think. I would still kind of give the edge to Islam if this fight does get down to the ground. And so that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. Very tough one. But
stylistically, Kamaru, the advantage, and the same reason why I'm going with him is Islam stylistically because of the grappling side. But like I said before, what scares me is what he's saying. If it doesn't, he just decides to strike. The striking portion, I will give it to JDM. I really will. He's proven that. So
that's fine.
But you're right. I will go with Islam Makhachev, because of the grappling.
That's fine. Now, before we get into our predictions, I'm going to talk about what you just said earlier, that JDM would not want to fight me. That's not true. That's definitely not true, because there is an interview that just resurfaced that JDM was saying, yeah, I would love to fight Usman because I don't think he's that good. And then I was like, and I'm like, whoa, when was this? And then he cleaned it up. He said, it's not that he's not good. He's obviously is good because I believe I was the champion at the time. Something like that. He said, well, obviously he's good because he was champion, but I don't think he's that good because I think he said he saw holes in my game that he felt that he could exploit. And so when you have potentially one of the top welterweights out there still in the division, and there's a potential chance for you to get that fight and really make that Skrilla, Why would you not? And if you take out 1 pound for pound, and now you have an ability to take out another pound for pound, come on, who doesn't run off? Who doesn't jump on that?
Salesman, bro. You're one hell of a salesman.
I'm not selling anything. This is crack. It sells itself here.
Can I tell you something? I think this is why people love pound for pound, because we got two different things. You think in my opinion, I truly do believe the guy that has more to gain in this fight, it is JDM, because everybody's counting him out. And the fact that who he's gonna beat the longest win streak. That's going to break in. But anyways, man, we could agree to disagree, but we both will agree that we do feel like Islam could have the slight edge on the grappling portion. So that is yet to be known. So, Kamaru's going for Islam Makhachev. So am I.
I agree. Well, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. I mean, this is a big one. Also, a vacant champion vacating their title to move up to potentially become a 2-division world champion. Zhang Weili taking on the greatest flyweight champion, women's flyweight champion ever in Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, this is a matchup right here that I think people have kind of been waiting for Weili to move up for a while, since Rose Namajunas was no longer the champion. I think people have kind of been waiting for her to move up, and this is a tough one here, Henry. Where are you leaning towards? Where are you leaning for this one?
Thing, bro. I'm actually pretty close with both of them, man. Valentina was just at our gym. I'm probably closer to Weili. Weili did Weili did a whole camp. That's when you're trying to take out your former teammate and Rose Namajunas.
How was that? I was just saying. I'm just asking. My bad.
But there's something about Valentina, bro, that her IQ, what she's been able to do to Jessica Andrade, when everybody thought she was going to strike, ended up taking her down. Like, Valentina does things like that. Like, there's more of a tactical sense to her, and Weili's been able to do that too with a lot of these fighters too. With that other, with Yan, with her Chinese
Yan Shannon.
Yeah,
right.
When she was able to also take her down. So this is, Weili will feel good at 125 pounds, but man, there's something about Valentina Shevchenko, her tactical side, and that's what makes Valentina just different, bro. So if there's somebody that would, I don't want to bet here, but if there's an edge here, I probably will go with Shevchenko, just based on just tactics, bro, and the ability to really make adjustments in the fight. From 5'4", 5'5" to 5'4", like, these girls are pretty much identical. 37 years young for Valentina, 36 for Zhang Weili. The reach advantage goes to Valentina. The person that's going to have to make adjustments in this fight is going to be Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is a smaller fighter. She's going to have to move. She's going to have to use some of that explosive power. And who knows, maybe possibly get her down. But this is to me, this is the most competitive women's MMA fight of all time. Like, think about it, Kamaru. Think about it. And
of all time?
Not say freaking Ronda Rousey. Don't be coming down.
Wow.
Like
hey, watch your mouth. Don't talk about Ronda like that. Don't talk about Ronda.
So I really don't want to bet, but the tactical side, where I will give the edge to, it will be Valentina Shevchenko. Tactical.
Okay. This is a very, very, very competitive fight. But I mean, you there's been some great fights. I mean, you're talking Rose Namajunas and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. You're talking Amanda Nunes and Chris Cyborg. On paper. But I will agree with you. Modern day, this is one of the most competitive. And Henry, I'm gonna go the opposite way. I think Valentina is extremely talented. Valentina is the greatest flyweight, obviously. But there's something that I'm seeing in the last couple of fights from Valentina. And like I said, it's not just skill-wise for me. I look at the spirit as well. I look at what's happening, how they're fighting. And in what I'm seeing Valentina defend. the title. And while you're defending, you're not thinking about the attack and being offensive. And that's where I see the edge here going for Zhang Weili. I'm coming up. I can eat now. I didn't suck all that weight down. Got a little extra weight on me. Got a little extra oomph in his hands. I'm going to go. And Zhang Weili does not hang out in the clinch. This is where Valentina has exploited a lot of other fighters. Valentina's not a wrestler that will shoot a double leg half across the cage and take you down like that. Yes, she will change levels and get you down sometimes, but Valentina really thrives in the clinch work. She gets in the clinch, trips you, or steps over against the cage and gets you down with the hooks and brings you down. And Zhang Weili does not hang out in the clinch. Zhang Weili doesn't like to lock up and stay here and play here. Zhang Weili's going to push off. She's going to get to the space and she's going to start putting combinations together. She hops in, she hops out, she moves around. So I'm going to go the opposite way with Zhang Weili. I think Zhang Weili, and obviously to spoil the party here, I think Zhang Weili comes in and potentially has an upset here. Henry? Am I wrong? It didn't sound the same.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of what it's a little bit different but the same. I think the better victory here would be for Zhang Weili. If Zhang Weili was to win, she becomes a 2-division champ. The second in history, I believe, in the UFC. There's only been one in Amanda Nunes,
female,
which the weight
second
class
female in
doesn't even
history.
exist no more, 145 pounds. And there was maybe 10 people there. But I think this would be I think this would, if Weili was to win and defend a few more times, bro, you would almost want to go the route of saying, hey, Zhang Weili could become the greatest women's fighter of all time. You know what I'm saying?
See, we keep throwing. We throw that title around too much.
Based on merit, I'm just saying style. I mean, I'm just saying to you that she's able to become a champion and defend it multiple times.
I agree.
She moves in as a new big dog in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at we're talking. Come on now, we're talking greats here. You're talking Amanda Nunes, man. Hey, that's big talk right there. You talking Ronda Rousey? That's big talk right there. You know,
I still think the greatest woman fighter of all time is Chris Cyborg, dude.
I think Amanda Nunes might have something to say about that. You know, a little something. You know, but it is what it is. To each his own. But I think Zhang Weili here, I give her the slight edge. I think she's, yeah, man. I mean, I've said about it. I can't wait. I'm eager to watch this fight. I can't wait. But from what I'm seeing in their spirit, that's where I'm gonna go. But Henry, this is a fight right here that there's implications because this starts the gauntlet. There's a lot of stuff going on here in this welterweight division, right? It's a fun time to be a welterweight. You've got Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales. There's a few questions, mainly for me, that I think needs to be answered on both perspectives from both guys here. But Henry, I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to let you tell me what you're thinking in this fight and where you see this prediction.
Golly, Michael Morales is fucking 18-0, bro.
And 0.
Jesus. Pull up the stat real quick. Let me see.
18-0. Been finishing dudes.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
Been finishing dudes.
Dude. God, I would have loved to have seen this fight. I would have loved to have seen him and Carlos Prates go at it. He did knock out Gilbert Burns, bro. Magny. He was able to go unanimous decision against Magny, unanimous decision against Griffin. Adam Fugit, he's a training partner of ours. But I just feel like stylistically, bro, I mean, if he's fought grapplers, I don't think he's fought a grappler like Sean Brady, a wrestler like him. And
Gilbert Burns.
Push comes to shove, bro, I've heard it from a lot of good friends. Sean Brady's got really good wrestling. He's got really good wrestling, and his top control ain't no joke, bro. That dude's got a win over Craig Jones. That dude that be kissing people and shit. So this dude's a real deal, man. And I think
pause.
But check this out. He only has one loss, bro, and that was to Bilal Muhammad. And I feel like at that fight, I felt like Bilal kind of took his soul. But bro, submission over Kelvin Gastelum, unanimous decision over Gilbert Burns, and then submission over Leon Edwards. He's fought the tougher competitions. I just feel like the grappling that Sean Brady brings to the table is going to be very problematic for Michael Morales. So for that reason, bro, I gotta go with the vet. And they're both vets, kind of, if you think about it, dude. Fucking 18 fights, bro.
He has more fights than
I gotta
him.
go with Sean Brady, bro. I feel like Sean Brady has he has that it factor that we haven't seen Michael Morales on bottom. So I'm curious to see. 32, he's pretty young too, and Sean Brady to the 226 mark, Michael Morales. There's times, this, Kamaru, where guys are just fed until you get to that one guy. And then it just changes everything. You know what I'm saying? It happened to a lot of, I hate to say it, but it happened to a lot of the fighting nerds. They're good until they get to that one guy. And then it's like, okay, now we see a little bit of where we could take the fight. So I gotta go with Sean Brady, bro. I was about to say Tom Brady again, but I gotta go with Sean Brady, potentially via submission, dude.
So there's questions that I feel need to be answered on both parts. With Michael Morales, we've never really seen a guy get a hold of him, drag him down, and let those lactic acids feel the arm, feel the legs. We've never really seen that. In most of his fights, we've kind of seen him in control, controlling the distance, landing big shots, and getting the win. So we've never really seen someone get a hold of him, drag him down, get on top of him, potentially threaten him with the submission. Until you've gone through that, it's very difficult to just say you're going to win in every position in a fight. I need to see that from you. So that's a big question that needs to be answered from Michael Morales. But for Sean Brady as well, Sean Brady, we've seen him in fights where typically those big shots kind of make him shy away from the contact, kind of make him kind of stay at bay, and then let a bigger, taller, or a more active fighter kind of take control of the fight. So we've seen that. So that's what I want to see here. I want to see, can Sean Brady deal with the big power that's coming at him and still go forward and implement his game plan, which is potentially get this fight down to the ground and get the finish. But if not, Michael Morales might continue to assert his dominance here because Michael Morales is a big boy.
Okay, well, spit it out.
And is a strong guy.
Kush. Spit it
so
out.
If I had to pick here, this is a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with Sean Brady. I do think where he has the bigger advantage is in the grappling. If he's able to get on the inside and get this fight down to the ground. So I'm going to go with Sean Brady. But this is my close one that I'm kind of iffy about. Moving on. Hey, this is a fantastic main card. Fantastic main card. Let's not forget, we've got
Carlos Prates versus Leon Edwards.
Yeah, this is a fantastic fight right here, Henry. And quick, give me your little breakdown. What are you thinking here?
I don't think Leon doesn't carry that wrestling, like that offensive wrestling that could potentially be a threat to Prates. Prates, when it comes to striking, bro, anybody 170 pounds, anybody, if they're just to strike with them, it wouldn't be good. So that being said, bro, Leon just has striking, bro. Leon just, I've never really seen him go for takedowns. Well, I'll take that back. He did get you with that freaking outside trip, but he doesn't do that frequently.
Bruh, I slipped. You see the banana peel in the cage? Bruh, I stepped on the joint.
Yeah, no, but
Bruh,
to me, this is all Carlos Prates, bro. I feel like Carlos's knees, his outside game with kicking, his knees up the middle, I think is going to make it very, very problematic. And the fact that he's already gone 5 rounds with Ian Machado Gary, 3 rounds ain't nothing for him. So I think it's a good stylistic matchup for the one and only Carlos Prates.
I agree in a sense with you, Henry. I do think this is a fantastic matchup. And I think it's a favorable matchup for someone, for both guys in a sense. For Leon Edwards, Leon has struggled with pressure grapplers, with guys that are going to come forward, guys that are going to change levels, take you down, hold you down, and beat you up. I've shown that. Muhammad showed that, and Sean Brady has just shown that. And so it's got to be a slight relief for Leon, understanding that I'm not going up against a guy who wants to take me down, who wants to hold me down and beat me up. So I'm getting away from that. I want a striker. Now I got a striker. But the difference is you got a different type of striker. You got a striker that loves to throw knees, loves to throw elbows, a striker that's ultra confident, a striker that's smoking that cig on you, bumping that Ross on you. You feel me? We got a new type of striker, a kid that has no fear. And I think this fight favors a guy like Carlos Prates, because not only has he shaken off that loss, which was a learning lesson learned for him. And we talked about it when we had him on the show. If you haven't seen that, go back and check out our episode with Carlos Prates. But yeah, we had him on the show. We talked about it. It was a lesson learned for him. And since then, he's bounced back against Jeff Neal with that tremendous knockout. And now he's going up against another southpaw who's not primarily known for his power. He's not primarily known for his aggression. He's more of a slick guy. And so I think this is a favorable matchup for Carlos Prates. But listen, Henry. But let me say, for we can't count Leon out, because Leon has been able to change levels. Not the prettiest shot, but he can change levels. He can get you down. A non-wrestler, he can get you down. And Leon's grappling has improved when he's on top. We saw him back in the day when he got to, I forget what he was, the Russian that was cleaning dudes up. Leon was able to go in there, take him down, take his back, and put him away. So I don't know. Leon's been out for a little while. I don't know all the improvements that have been made. But hey,
the UFC's
I don't count him out.
Can I tell you something, Kamaru? The UFC's pushing Carlos Prates. They're pushing.
Of course they got to. When you're coming in there and you're taking care of business like that, why wouldn't they push you? And not only taking care of business like that, he's not a loudmouth like some of these guys. He's letting his work speak for himself. And I think that's what's putting him in these positions to get some of these good matchups.
Damn,
so
look at that.
I love it.
Rocket KO, Jingling KO, Magni KO.
Radke, yeah.
This is where I give Leon. This is where I give Ian Gary credit, bro. I give him credit, bro. Fucking Ian Gary, bro, he's fucking good, man. Whether your differences or not, the dude he's become a lot better, bro. At first, he was a bit annoying to me, but dude, he has proven, dude. KO.
So what's your prediction for this fight?
I got Carlos Prates, bro, via finish, man. I think Carlos's knees. I think just on the feet. I think Leon is. I don't think this is stylistic. It's a good matchup for Leon. Leon's key to victory is he's gonna have to grapple. He's gonna have to wrestle or kick that lead leg. A little bit of what Ian Gary did. Kick the lead leg and jab the shit out of him. But other than that, I think Carlos is just too good, man. Stylistically, it's a great matchup for him. So I got Carlos Prates via knockout.
Okay. I don't want to count Leon out. I do think Leon is talented, but I just think with the way there's the spiral here, I just think Leon kind of trying to crawl out of that hole of 2 losses in a row, not just losses, but being dominated twice. And you've got a hungry, young, confident guy that's just finishing guys in the rankings. I just think it's going to be a tough one for Leon. So I'm going to go with Carlos Prates as well. Moving on. Hey, this is a fantastic main card. Let's not forget, we've got Beneil Dariush taking on Benoit Saint Denis. This is a fantastic fight. And I'm just going to give you my close one here.
Okay,
I do think Benoit.
Hold on real quick, Kamaru. So is this the start of the pay-per-view card?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's true they ended up pulling Bo Nickal out of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we'll see. Right? He's the feature prelim. It looks like he's the feature prelim right now.
That wasn't my question. They took him out of the pay-per-view.
Hey, I don't know if he was ever on the pay-per-view. I think that was just an order, because remember, they always say order are subjected to change. at any moment. And so they've done that.
Yeah, and you know what? Can I tell you something about this whole fight card, dude? Like it's up and down, bro. It's stacked, dude. Darius versus Benoit Saint Denis. We have Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champ, black belt, like a legit, against NCAA, 3-time NCAA champ, 4-time finalist in Bo Nickel. Roman Kopylov, he's going up against your boy, man, Gregory Rodriguez, RoboCop. Erin Blanchfield, she's going up against, my sister, Tracy Cortez, bro. I mean, Malcolm Wellmaker. That dude is, people are really high on this dude. There's something about this dude that could be special, dude. That they're putting him in a big pay-per-view. This dude's got power, bro. This 35er right here, 5'10". That dude, he switches stands. Look at this. KO, 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 KO. He only has like one, in all of his 10 fights, I think he only has like one decision, bro. Something crazy. One decision out of 10 fights, bro. Like, this is a dude of, potentially a contender in the making. Obviously, these dudes gotta, but I will say this, the times that I did see him fight, the dude he knows how to find the button. He puts people out, bro. And at 135 pounds, dude, Malcolm Wellmaker is a problem.
I agree. I think he's extremely talented. And I mean, Henry, can you just go ahead and stamp this card as how do you stamp these? You've said it at least 3 or 4 times this year.
But this is why I'm going down the whole fight card. Can you start from the beginning?
From the first fight of the night, Henry, we've got Bison Gore, who has just jumped on the scene and really looking to follow in the footsteps of Hamza Chimaev. Bison Gore jumped on the scene, 2 fights back to back, boom, boom, and now he's jumping in there for a 3rd time. And so, actually, this would be his 2nd UFC fight, but he had the contender fight. Then he fought that next weekend in his UFC debut. He's the first fight of the night. A lot of hype on him. Then you talk about 2nd fight. You've got Angela Hill that has the most fights in the UFC for a female fighter, taking on Fatima Klein, I believe. That's a banger. Okay, then we move on to the next fight. You got Pat Sabatini taking on Chepe. Bro, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because Chepe is no slouch. Chepe has turned.
That's a crazy name. Chepe, Chapo, like, dude, that's like his fucking.
Chepe.
I think that might be his nickname, bro. I don't know if that's his real name.
No, that's his name. That's his name, Chepe. I've had the pleasure of working with Chepe a little bit, and I'll tell you what. This is a guy.
Is he Mexican or what is he? What descent is he?
Yeah, he's Mexican American. That's Chepe, bro. Does he not look Mexican to you, bro?
I mean,
bro, what's wrong with you, bro? You don't know what's wrong with you, bro?
'Cause I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free.
Wow.
Anyway, let's get
okay, all right. Then moving on to the next fight, Henry, we've got Malcolm Wellmaker taking on Cody Hannon. It's a great one. And we come to the one that you said your sister. There's 2 fights here on the prelims, Henry, that I want to know your predictions from.
Okay.
Erin Blanchfield taking on Tracy Cortez, your sister. I want to know your predictions on that. And then let's go to Bo Nickel.
I gotta go unanimous decision for Tracy. I think Tracy's gonna
really?
And I do believe that a win for Tracy Cortez is gonna get to that next title shot, dude. I really do. You watch.
Okay.
I got some insight on this.
I'm going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to say that, and I like Tracy, but I'm going to go and I'm going to say Erin Blanchfield by unanimous decision.
She lost to Tracy already, right?
I'm going to say Erin Blanchfield by unanimous decision. Okay? And then in the feature prelim, your boy, Bo Nickel taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Predictions?
Yeah, I mean, the person that I like them both, but I know them both, but it's wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. And when it comes to that stuff, it comes down to the nitty-gritty of ground and pound. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bo's grappled with the best guys in the world, dude. He almost beat fucking Gordon Ryan with no jiu-jitsu match in his damn record. That's how good he is. So, you would have to kind of lean towards Bo Nickel just based on the merit of what wrestling and the striking too. Rodolfo has gone a lot better training out with the fighting nerds, but Bo Nickel is just Bo Nickel, man. You gotta go with the wrestler, bro. He's too good up top, control wrist, little Dagestani handcuffs, if you want to call it. So I have Bo Nickel on that one.
I agree with you, Henry. I'm gonna go with Bo. Pause. Wow. Henry. I'm gonna go the opposite way on that one. I'm gonna go with, but not the opposite way. I'm gonna go with Bo Nickel as well, but I'm gonna go with Bo Nickel for a different reason. Because it's not as simple as just wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. This is a fight. This is not a grappling match. This is a fight. And in a fight, Rodolfo Vieira does not really use that jiu-jitsu the way, you think of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, but Rodolfo Vieira doesn't use the Jiu-Jitsu like that. Rodolfo Vieira is not a guy that's going to lay on his back, throw up the arm triangle like Charles Oliveira, switch to the leg lock and get to your back to a calf slicer, or he's not going to do that. Rodolfo Vieira is a guy that if he gets you down, his top pressure is very heavy, and if he catches you in an arm triangle, that's good night. But that's not the case. Bo Nickel is a lot more explosive, very explosive, faster, and I think just better with his hands and more dynamic. And of course, the wrestling. Bo Nickel, I think, can take him down and avoid any submissions. So I'm going to go with Bo Nickel with the win potential finish here to get his name back into the hat, to get that hype back. I'm going to go with Bo Nichols. And Henry, this is a stacked card from top to bottom. As you like to say, this is the greatest card of the year.
Yeah, I'd give it as of right now on paper, 100%.
As of right now, we're in November. There's only one more pay-per-view left. As of right now, paper. Yeah, but I'm going to agree with you.
Best for last. You ever heard of that saying, Kamaru?
Okay. But there's a card coming up in December as well that I know somebody that's on that card. I know a couple of people that's on that card. You know what I mean? You don't think that one is up there too?
Stockton, baby.
You mean Phoenix, right? Phoenix. But listen, Henry, this card is stacked from top to bottom. Great fights. And of course, that pay-per-view card is going to be fantastic with Beneil Dariush and Benoit Saint-Denis. Freaking all the welterweights that are going to be on that card, leading all the way up to the ladies. And of course, Islam Makhachev taking on Della, Maddalena. Fantastic card, Henry. I can't wait to watch it. I will be there in person, seeing what's up, seeing what's up. Who's trying to dance? You feel me, Henry? Let me see who's trying to dance.
But you know what? Now that Islam said that, you're sitting in a good position, bro. You're sitting in a really good position, Kamaru, to where you could be the next guy for that title shot. And remember, dude, once you get the merit of winning 2 belts, you have a little more leverage at the UFC. I know I did when I had the 2 belts. I'm like, which weight class you want to go? But I was simultaneous. I was like, maybe flyweight or bantamweight. Flyweight, you know what I mean? Because you remain king.
What?
But you have a lot more leverage. So if Islam Makhachev does want to fight against the Nigerian Nightmare, it's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen. So everything that you've been talking about, Dan Kamaru, at first I was just like, man, Kush is probably, he's probably on that Kush a little too heavy. But now that Islam has said it, has came out of his mouth, fuck, you're right, bro. You are right.
But listen, Henry, I said that, but I'm not saying something just to try to blow smoke. I meant that as far as if I was in their position, what would I want to do? And this is exactly what I wanted to do. When I was the champion, I wanted so bad to fight a guy like George St. Pierre. Not because I hated George or anything like that, but just because George, the name of George St. Pierre, that big guy, that legacy for me to get that opportunity for that fight to really stamp myself as the new coming, the new leader, the new guy who's going to carry this division to the promised land. And of course, the cha-ching, because that's the biggest name that would sell the most. That's what I wanted. And that's what I think. Listen, I'm not just saying that with these guys. That's what I think these guys are looking at as well. Because when you become champion, now you become part of the business. And as part of the business, you want to fight the biggest, best name that you possibly can, because that's probably what's going to rake in all the fat moolah. So that's why I said that. But either way, it's going to be a fantastic event. I can't wait to see it. Man, Henry, like I said, I'll be there live watching.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, we do have a question from a casual.
This week's question from a casual. And of course, the welterweights are scrapping right now. And this is how welterweights are. It gets quiet and then boom, all of a sudden everybody's scrapping. So based on all the matchups that are kind of in line right now, everyone wants to know who's going to advance from essentially this bracket that's out there, right? You've got Leon Edwards taking on Carlos Prates. You've got Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales. You've got Bilal taking on Ian Gary. But there's still two guys right now that's kind of sitting out there. Shavkat is still sitting out there with no opponent. There's a lot of rumors, he might be coming back or he has an injury. But if he does come back, obviously the logical choice would be the dangerous Joaquin Buckley, who's still sitting up there close to the top of that division. You tell me where you leaning towards. Looking at that first one, let's go with the first one. Prates versus Edwards. Based on your predictions earlier, you went with who?
I think Prates comes out of that. I think Sean Brady comes out of the other one. Call me crazy, bro. Fuck, man. I see an upset, man, with Ian Gary, bro. And I love Bilal, man. And Bilal's a cool ass dude. But man, he's been Ian Gary's been he's been honored, bro. I think out of all these guys, Kamaru, I'm not sure about Shavkat. I'm not sure if he's even coming back anytime soon. I do feel like the winner of Islam and JDM, I do believe that, if Islam wins, I do feel like you get the next title shot, Kamaru. It's given. But
I don't know about
out
that.
Of all of these dudes, you're gonna think I'm crazy when I'm about to say Kamaru Dean. Out of all these dudes, I think Ian Gary is probably the most promising, bro. Call me crazy. Crazy. You can call him whatever you want to call him. We can call him whatever it is. He's gone a lot better, bro. He's gone a lot better.
What do you mean? Like, why are you saying that? Like, I think I'm not saying he's gotten better, or I'm not saying he's not good. I've never said that. Listen, I'm a fan of the sport, and I watch these guys. Like, of course, as a competitor, if I'm watching these guys, Kamaru, I see a hole.
Can I say something, Kamaru?
What's up? Go ahead.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I had to get it out.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
listen.
Get it out.
But yeah, listen. I do think Ian Gary knows how to win. I've always said that about him. And when he was fighting, when he fought MVP, I said the exact same thing. I said, listen, I think this is a difficult fight for anyone, but for him. But I think Ian can find a way to win, and he did find a way to win. And then you've got Carlos Prates. So they're promising, but I'm going to go with, yes, I do think for that matchup, I'm going to go with Prates. For that matchup, I'm going to go with Brady, but I do think that's a tough one. That's one of my closest one right there. I will go with potentially Ian Gary there. We want to see, of course, we want to see how Bilal's going to bounce back, because he did take a lot of punishment from JDM. So let's see how he bounces back. And of course, Shavkat, when Shavkat is returning, I would love to see how Buckley deals with a guy like that, because, hey, Buckley, he surprised me. He surprised me big time. He surprised me with like I said, I don't just fight the skill, I fight their spirit. And with the way his spirit was, it reminds me, there's another guy in the division that has a spirit similar to that, and that is JDM, with the way they fight. And so this is a good one. I can't wait to see what happens after next weekend. But Henry, I got my eye on that title. So whether it's Islam, whether it's JDL, I got my eye on that title. You feel me? Which I got on it.
Dude, that's a good one, Kamaru.
One of these.
Kamaru, does this sound crazy to you that it could be your last fight and you could leave on top?
Whoa! It could be my last fight. Hey, you see how I came on the hey, last fight? I might have like 5 more in me. What you mean, bruh? 1 more defenses in me. Jeez, don't say that. You've been saying blasphemous statements all day today. But I'm gonna let you get away with it. You know? Yeah, I might have 5 more in me. You feel me? Henry, but as always, my man, I love you. And good to see you, man. I see you in camp. You looking good, man. You looking good. But hey, stay off them chalupas, bro. Stay off of them. You know, we want you to get out there and be healthy. I feel you. Hey. But as always, you know I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
We are out.